I tell you, though, you can't accuse the Queensland Premier Annastacia Palaszczuk of being completely stupid. She's taken a page from Daniel Andrews' playbook and employed more than 100 more people to her own staff, mainly as media and marketing and communications people. Meanwhile, the Courier Mail reports there are 59 fewer police officers on the front line in Queensland compared with the same time last year. So let's think about this. More than 100 staff added to the Premier's own department working in communications, but 59 fewer police officers. I think I've worked out how they're going to solve Queensland's crime problem. They're not going to put police on the street arresting bad guys. They're going to employ more spin doctors, convincing Queenslanders things aren't as bad as you seem. It's like the Tanya Plibersek energy communication strategy. You know, we've reduced your energy costs, even though they've gone up 25%, because they could have gone up 50%. I think they'll reduce crime in Queensland the same way. These spin doctors will say, well, you've been broken into twice this year, but how good is it? You could have been broken into 4 times. I'm pretty sure that's the way they're going to do it. For a government that hates gas, they sure seem to love gaslighting.
Yeah, but even worse than her employing 100 more people in her department, 4,600 new public servants across the entire public sector, and yet they're going backwards in terms of the numbers of police officers. I mean, what are 46,100 public servants actually going to do? Can you show me anywhere, any other business in the private sector in Queensland that in the last year has hired 4,600 new people? No, it's simply not possible. I mean, Queensland...
And this was actually down on the previous years where they'd hired an extra 8,000. So now they're like, oh, this is almost half of that before. Granted, that was on the back of a hiring freeze during their pandemic, etc. and so on. But 8,000 the previous year? How on earth?
They're going to make sure that the Queensland Labor government is re-elected. 1 in 20 Queenslanders is now a public servant. So when 1 in 20 voters goes to the ballot box, do you think they're going to vote against the person providing their pay? And then if David Crisafulli ever gets into government for the LNP, he'll have to cut the public service to fix the budget. Labor will accuse him of causing people to lose their jobs, and then Labor will get back in and the whole process will continue all over again.
They're turning Queensland into a one-company town, and the only company in town is going to be government. You know, if you want to get a job, you go and get a cushy job as a public servant where you push some pens and come in at 10 o'clock and do yoga and Pilates, bugger off for 2 hours for lunch, come back, have a coffee, do some crap, go home at 4 o'clock. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be a public servant? And that is dead set, the jobs of some people in the public service. Like, they just get entrenched, they never leave, they can't get sacked, they just ride it and milk it for all it's worth, but we need more of them.
Well, isn't that how Campbell Newman lost office? He cut the public service drastically when he came into power, and then Labor screamed blue murder, got back in, built the public service up again. It's a great insurance policy for winning at the next election.
It's a great cycle.